Hi guys, it's LSP. It's currently the 22nd of January 2019, 9:19 in the morning. I opted to wait till today to do a video because there's going to be some news coming out for GBP in about 10 minutes. And I just wanted to watch that live with you guys and see if see if we get any favourable sort of price action. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reset my charts, as I said in the previous video. Like so. Okay. And we'll start with the dollar index as always. Zoom in one more. And obviously this is the weekly chart. Let's take the day dividers off so we can see this this wick, this tail. And I just want to kind of mark off some small areas where I believe the price should stall. So we had this level down here and we've got this level up here. Okay, so why have I marked off these two levels? Okay, you can see that when we created this low here and price started to move away, it came back and it respected this candle here. Okay, it's come all the way up, takes out the swing high, comes all the way back down, recapitalizes this candle here. So they're taking some more, accumulating more. This is how I see it in my head, right? And then we get some push, nice lift last week, decent week last week, and we've started quite muted this week, but it's looking like it wants to continue going higher. So the next level that I would expect price to be reaching for is 96.56 or 96.50 to 96.55. Okay, we'll call it that. And if we drop down to the daily and get a better idea, if you remember, I'd marked off that level right there, and I'm going to leave this level on because the 96 big figure is where we're at right now. And we've stalled a little bit, which would make sense because we're inside this up candle. Okay. And we've stalled a little bit at 96, so I'm gonna wait and see what price does. The closer we get to 96.55 to 96.50 to 96.55, the more likely it is that we're going to get a punch up above these highs. Now, the ultimate target for me is going to be up here. Okay, 97.50 to 97.55. Will it get up there? I don't know. You know, what I like to do is I never anticipate, I never push, you know, I wait, and the closer we are to these liquidity pools, the easier it is for me to take a trade. So that's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for a reason, you know, to start paying attention and start looking for trades, you know. Now, on the downside, the last area, I guess, of or the line in the sand, or the area that I wouldn't want price to go through, if I believe that price is going higher on the dollar index, okay, then I don't want it going lower. So there has to be a line in the sand. You know, there has to be a point where I say to myself, if price gets to that point and goes through it, then it's unlikely that price is going to continue going higher, and it's probably going to shift and go lower. So for me, it's this level right here. Okay, 95.35. Okay, we'll call it 95.35. We'll round it down. So these are the levels that I'm going to be watching. I'm going to be patient. I'm just going to wait for the market to do whatever it needs to do, you know, and then we can take it from there, and we'll address whatever needs to be addressed as the time comes. Euro-wise, a little bit different on euro. Let me just zoom out one more actually, because I need to be able to see. I'm going to mark off this level here. Okay, it is a ways away, 110, 110.20. Okay, but there's inefficiency down here, you know, so if it really starts to gain some legs and the dollar starts to push higher, you know, this is the area where I would want price to be reaching for, or expect price to be reaching for. Okay, but right now we're going sideways, we're not doing anything, you know, but it is interesting to note that we came up into this level, okay, the 115.50. We've respected that level. We've rejected. and now we're getting some follow through, and it's looking like we could potentially be punching down to start going for the lower levels. You know, I'm gonna put this level on down here, okay, the 112.15. all right, we're going to drop down to a lower time frame. Now obviously when you're watching these videos, you might be looking at them and thinking, well, why is he marked off that particular candle? And what, you know, don't worry about any of that stuff for now. You know, I'll go into all of that stuff as we progress over the months. But right now, the important thing is the draw on price. Where do I believe price is going? Yeah. And for me, I had this marked off before. Nothing's really changed, but I had this marked off before, 112.60 to 112.65. If we start to gain some legs, we're going to be taking out this low, obviously. And if we take out this low, it is likely that we're going to be going down here to take out any liquidity that's below these equal lows. So the 112.60 to 112.65 level makes sense to me. And it's around about 100 pips away. You know, I did this yesterday. You know, it's on 90 plus stop sweep. So about 100 pips. You know, there's enough range there. But I need price to confirm now and start to push lower. It'll give me a better indication. If we kind of get round this sort of level, then I'm going to be expecting price to punch down. Then I can start paying attention. I'll drop down to the lower time frames and I'll look for a trade. So that's where we stand. On the upside, okay, on the upside, I don't really want price going above this point, okay? So 114.40. So you'll notice I've got 4 price levels on my chart, okay? The reaction level, where I believe price stalled. We've got the line in the sand, okay? And we have some targets, you know? And that's all you really need, you know what I mean? That's all you really need. At the end of the day, if I believe the dollar index is going higher because of, you know, the analysis is telling me that, the technicals are telling me that, then it stands to reason that I would expect euro to go lower because it's the inverse. Now, if I'm expecting euro to go lower, then I need to find that point that confirms, you know, that it is indeed going lower. And for me, it's here. This is it. And it's based off a higher time frame level, you know, up here. And that higher time frame level, you can see it went up there and it reacted from that. And this is quite easy to see. It's not difficult to be able to, you know, sort of pinpoint these levels, because as we start to move away from those levels, you can see the dynamic reaction at that level. You know, it's quite aggressive. You know, it punched up there really strong day. And then, you know, 2 days later, you know, we're back down, you know, 3/4 of the way through the previous, you know, not the previous, but through this, you know, really nice strong day, you know, and then it starts to go, and then it really starts to gain some legs. So you can say, yes, this is definitely a reactionary point. This is a turn. This is, for me anyway, this is an area where I can confirm, yep, price definitely respected this level, found some sensitivity there, and we started to sell off. So it's looking like we're going to be heading, you know, headed lower. Then we need a line in the sand. You know, we need an area to say, well, if price does eventually go up there, it needs to respect this level, because if it gets through the 114.40, then we're likely going to end up going higher and probably challenge this high up here and the previous high here. So all of this stuff we need to pay attention to, you know, and then we need our targets, right? So now I'm going to jump over to cable, right? Cable's very messy, very messy, and obviously we have, you know, couple of minutes for this news release, so I'm going to try and make this quick. We've got the mean threshold here, okay? We obviously have the turn here. This is the level that clearly shows we've had a reversal. Starts to climb higher. It's a crazy day here, and we're getting a small lift on this week. I really want to see it through 129.20 to punch through there, you know, and stay above that level. If it does that, then I would expect targets of this level. And for now, we'll leave it at that, actually. Let me drop down to the daily. I've got 1 minute left. I'm just looking, obviously the previous high here. If it punches through this, it's likely to get to 130, you know, 130.30. So let's drop down to the 4 hour and zoom out one, just to kind of see. There is a small level here. Okay, 130.84. So they're the levels on the upside. Line in the sand wise, I don't really want to see price. And this is the 4 hour, obviously. Let me just go to the daily quickly. It's different because we've punched through down, all the way down here, cleared out all the liquidity here, filled in the inefficiency, and completely reversed. So, you know, everything's showing me that it's headed higher. Line in the sand really is this for me. Okay, 127.30. That's where I don't really want to see price going low because of this such a strong reaction down here. If we do eventually get through 127.30, I think we're going sideways on cable. I don't think we're going to be going higher. So let's drop down to the hourly because the news release has just come out. Okay, put the day dividers on and we can see we're getting a little bit of a lift. I'm just going to watch price for a little bit and see what happens. And in the meantime, while price is doing its thing, I just want to point a few things out. Excuse me, sorry, I'm stretching. I just want to point a few things out, okay? You know, why am I doing these videos? You know, again, I'm a I don't want to say a realist, but I'm the kind of person, okay, who I see something and I think to myself, okay, look, you know, that can be improved upon, okay? So I see a lot of traders out there that, you know, that are struggling, you know, and it's nothing to do with Twitter, it's nothing to do with social media or any of the, you know, of this other stuff. Just in general, you know, I speak to traders, you know, not necessarily on a daily basis, but I speak to traders throughout the week. People who email me or people who message me, you know, and they say, "Can you help me with this?" or "Do you know anything about this?" or, you know, "Have you ever used this particular indicator? Have you ever used that service?" and so on and so on and so on. You know, and I guess the reason for that is because it's one of two things. I was trying to figure this out for a while because I was thinking to myself, do you know what? Obviously, I'm putting myself out there. I'm putting these videos out there. You know, and it's one of two things. Either people like what they see in the videos, you know, or they're just desperate. You know, now I'd like to believe that it's because, you know, people like what they see. I want to be really careful how I'm saying this, but I don't want to say I'm always right, you know, but so far this year, you know, I've put plenty of videos out there and you can see that my analysis is very on point, okay? And this is really interesting, you know. My analysis is based off many years, you know, experience. I used to trade stocks. I've said this story many times. I'm not going to go into it, but I used to trade stocks. I used to trade for a living, and I stopped trading for a living, you know, and now I just trade to supplement my income, you know, and there's a lot of wealth. There's like a wealth of experience there. There's a lot of information there, a lot of information in my head, you know. But one of the things that I've always been able to do is to kind of look at somebody's trading. And this is specific to trading, obviously. I don't, you know, I mean, I'll help anybody, to be fair, but, you know, with anything in life. But, you know, this, what I'm talking about now is specific to trading. You know, I've always been able to kind of look at a problem, you know, that somebody has in their trading and instinctively know, I guess through experience, you know, through experience over the years, what that problem is. Maybe because I've experienced it myself, or maybe because I can sympathize. But whatever the weather, I'm able to pinpoint that problem and say, yeah, look, this is the problem. This is where you need to be focused on, you know, and if you focus on there, then you're going to find, you know, better results. Now, I've proved this over the years. You guys don't know this. I know this. I've proved this over the years, you know, with traders that I've helped, traders that I've worked with. You know, I've done a lot of one-on-one coaching with traders over the years. I did somebody last year. I helped somebody out last year for 6 months. You know, he's trading. The last message that I got from him, I think he's from my understanding, I've not spoken to him for a while. I think he's having problems with his computers. And but the last message that I got from him was at the end of last year. You know, not that long ago. I was talking about what 3 weeks ago. And he was saying, you know, trading's going really well. You know, the usual thank yous, blah 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 blah. You know, and that's what I want to hear. I like that. You know, I like to know, you know, that what I'm doing is actually making a difference. So the point of this entire rant, and so far Cable's not really doing much, but the point of this entire rant really is to just emphasize that there's a lot of people on, and we'll use Twitter, okay? There's a lot of people on Twitter, they have 20,000 followers, they have 50,000 followers, 8,000 followers, 10,000 followers. They've got a good chunk of followers. Now, personally, look, I'll just say this right now. When I see people with all of these followers, okay, it doesn't mean they don't have value or anything like that. I just want to point something out. It's nothing to do with trading. It's just Twitter. I believe they're paid followers, to be honest, because when you, and this goes for anybody on Twitter, when you look at these people who have hundreds of thousands of followers, 50,000 followers, a good chunk of followers, when they post something, they'll get like 4 or 5 likes, 10 likes, maybe 100 likes, but it's never, it doesn't make sense to me. So to have all of those followers, right, but no real engagement, and that's something that I tried to avoid last year. I tried to avoid having people follow me on Twitter who just, don't really give a shit and weren't really interested in the content that I was putting out there. So going back to what I was trying to emphasize, the point I was trying to make was this. Through the entirety of the time that I spent on Twitter last year and the videos that I was putting out for the challenge that I did and all that stuff, and I'm talking about all the major market moves. I wasn't wrong once, yeah? No, I tell a lie. I was wrong once, but I'm 99% correct on everything that I did. Yeah, the only time I was wrong was on gold. And to be honest, I don't believe that I'm going to be wrong on gold. Yeah. If you remember, if anybody was watching last year, and I'm going to go to gold now, okay? If you remember, I was saying last year that I'm expecting gold to go up here. The one thing, I'm not going to put it on the chart yet. 113.75, okay, is where I'm expecting gold to go, and I still believe it's going there. 113.75. I still believe it's going to go here, but I, unfortunately, at the time, I believe, if I remember, it was somewhere around here. I could find it, but I don't want to. It's just too long. Somewhere around here, I was expecting price to go higher, and punch up and take out all of this liquidity, but instead it went all the way down, and this is not random. Let me show you something. This is not random. Okay. And actually, no, I did that wrong. It's actually the mean threshold. Take the high off, and if I put the mean threshold on, you can see it's not random. That's not random. I'll tell you that right now. Price came all the way down, capitalized this this candle, and then started to grind higher. Yeah, this is where I believe we're going. It's taken years to get there, but that's where I believe we're going. That's the only time I was wrong. Every other time, all the major market moves, I called them, and I called them all correct, and yet I had almost no followers on Twitter, and it frustrated me because I was putting all of this solid information out, information that's going to help traders, information that's going to make a difference in their, in their trading careers, and nobody was listening. I'm like, what the effing hell, is going on? What am I doing wrong? Why aren't people listening to what I'm saying? I wasn't charging for anything. It wasn't some paid service. It's just loads of information going out there. And there were obviously people that were following, and I'm very thankful for that, and I hope anything that I put out there made a difference. But I was baffled, I was baffled. I'm like, all of this information is going out. There's people out there that are hurting traders, hurting traders. People who are putting their money into a trading account and taking trading advice from people who are getting it wrong 50% of the time, sometimes more. Why in God's name would you put your money with a person like that? It makes no sense to me, So this year I decided to kind of do something a little bit different. I'm putting these market reviews out there. I'm trying to get as much content and much videos out there, as many videos out there as possible. Obviously, I've mentioned about the trading room, and the small select group that I'm looking to work with. I'm not going to bang on about that. If anybody's interested, the email's there. It's on the screen. We'll just leave it at that. But I want to work with people who actually give a shit, and I'm still going to continue putting content out there, but I want to actually, it's unfortunate that I'm not able to basically take, some of the traders that I've traded in the past, helped in the past, and I've asked them, I'm like, please, can you just, please, sit down with me, have a one-to-one, and we'll do a quick, sort of session we'll record it and then we'll put it online so people can see, so they understand the simplicity of trading and how easy trading should be. Trading should be boring, yeah, but they just won't. The traders that I've helped, one in particular, he makes a lot of money, and I've asked him, to just get his account statement, something that's verifiable, something that's absolutely verifiable and solid, and just give it to me, so I can put it online and just do a small little chat with me. And he's like, nah, man, I don't want people knowing, So it's annoying. It is really annoying actually, but I have to respect that. I can't force somebody to do something they don't want to do, and obviously I have to respect his decision. But yeah, it's frustrating, and for me, like I said, that frustration spilled over into a lot of stupid shit last year on Twitter. So this year is kind of just very focused, get some information out there, and I'll just say, look, if you pay attention to what I'm showing and really, really let it sink in, your trading will improve. That's it. Well, there's nothing else for me to say. Your trading will improve. Now, I'm going to drop down to the lower time frame. Actually, no. So the 129.20 is a level that we're expecting or wanting to be hit. Now, probably not going to get this, but this level right here, okay, and everything that I'm showing you guys obviously is for information purposes only. Now look at the, I'm so glad I'm recording this. Look at the respect of that level. Now the one thing that I haven't mentioned, and I'll say it right now, when you're watching live price action, it's not the same. It's not the same as watching static price action. It simply isn't the same. Okay, people have this idea, that they can go back and look at charts. It's definitely a valuable tool to go back and look at charts and look at static price action and kind of gain an understanding of what's happened and what could potentially be happening going forward. But when you're in a trade and when you're watching price live, it's different. It's different. Your emotions are going on. You have to have the confidence to open a trade while price is moving. Sometimes during the London session, price is moving so fast. You have to be ready, you have to be confident, you've got to have your levels there, you've got to have a solid trading plan, and so on and so on and so on. But look at the respect of this level. Yeah, it's gone up there. We had a nice push, and I obviously went through all of this before the news release, and off it goes. And it hit that level and just immediately rejected that level. Obviously, it's not a massive rejection, but look, it went up there, it's hit the level, and it's respected that level. It's respected it. Nobody can argue with that. You can't say, no, it didn't. You can't say, but it's only respected it a little bit. You can't dispute or refute or say what we're watching on the screen right now isn't happening. It's happening. That's it. Unless you're blind, God forbid, or you just don't want to accept what's right there in front of you. This shit works. What I talk about works. I'm a profitable trader. I don't know how else to say that. And the biggest frustration for me in my quest, I guess, to help other traders is that people aren't listening. People don't listen to what I'm talking about. People don't pay attention. They just, it's just not about me being popular. It's just, it's about seeing what's right there in front of you and saying, do you know what? Yeah, this kid actually makes a lot of sense. I'm going to start paying attention. I want my trading to improve, because that's all I want. I just want traders to improve. That's it. And we can't dispute this. Look, it's right there. So we've hit that 120, that 129.20 level. Respected it. Okay. So now we need to see a punch above that level, 129.20, convincingly, and we need to hold above that level. If we do that this week, then I would expect price to take out this level, and then reach in for this 130, 130.30 to 130.35 level. Now, I will also mention there's a lot of crap going off over here in the UK, Brexit, Parliament, all this stuff that has made, like if you look at the euro, you can see that the euro is clearly going down, obviously. And if you look at the, the cable, you can see that the cable is clearly going up. Now, there's a disparity there because, when the dollar is going up, cable should be going down, and it isn't. Cable's on its own page right now, okay? The pound obviously has its own shit going on, and we have to bear that in mind. I'm being very cautious with cable. I'm trying very, very hard to just kind of let it. Not trying very hard. I'm focused on just letting cable do its thing. And it's more of a study for me than it is actually looking, to take a trade. If I'm going to be taking a trade this week, go away. If I'm looking to be taking a trade this week, it's going to be on euro. This is my main focus this week. I don't really want to be trading cable, and obviously the caveat to that is that if I see something that's unbelievably clean, as a setup, then obviously I'll take it. It goes without saying. But I'm not looking to take a trade on on cable. It's not my main focus. But as a study, it's a very, very good study, because ultimately, regardless of whatever's going on around the world or in the UK with the news and all this other stuff, it doesn't really matter, because price action is price action. Okay, and liquidity is liquidity is liquidity, and price is going to reach for liquidity. That's it. And right now, it just punched up into the 129.20, and it could potentially be going up, higher than that. Okay, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. So I'm going to leave it there, guys. Any questions, any issues, anything you need help with, just email me. More than happy to respond. Sorry, guys. I've had like 3 hours sleep. I'm a bit tired, but I'm happy to respond. So you're more than welcome to email me. And in the meantime, we've got the levels on our charts now. I would suggest, if you want to sort of follow along, mark the levels off as well on your charts, separate charts, and then just monitor and watch and see how price unfolds over the coming weeks, and it will give you a good, a better understanding of order flow, price action, the way it moves, how it drives for these liquidity pools, and so on and so on. All right, guys. So take care, and I will speak to you in the next video. All right.